Hey guys, J0. Well, today is Chicken Butcher Day. Now, hard to believe that those birds are the same age. With that little Plymouth, she's the same age as the Cornish crosses. So she will be very soon going out with the other laying hens. She'll be a production layer. And the 5 white ones, the big Cornish rocks, are going to be butchered today. Now, I know it seems brutal, and I know there's people out there that say they couldn't do it, but keep in mind, this is all a part of, the on our own self-sufficient lifestyle is raising livestock to provide meat for us. These are the same exact breed of chickens that you will get when you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. When you buy chickens out of Walmart or the grocery store or the local Mega Mart store, these are the same exact breed of chickens. However, my chickens are not pinned up in a little bitty pen where they can't even move. That's the reason that these chickens are bred. As you see, they have trouble getting around because they're so big. They put on so much weight so quickly that most of the time they're doing what that up there is doing, is just laying. They're not going to be layers. They're not going to ever grow up to be anything other than big giant chickens. That's what they've been bred for. So you see that when they're walking, you see how they have trouble even getting around. So it is not inhumane to raise them to butcher. These, like I say, these chickens are now 8 weeks old. They are ginormous and ready to be butchered. So the last chicken video that I did, butchering chicken, were some old laying hens that were done laying, and we skinned them because those were going to go and get pressure canned because they're old and tough birds. These birds are young, and we're going to use a different method butchering these, which is going to be plucking them. What we're going to do is we're going to I'll take them one at a time and dispatch them very humanely. We'll snap their neck, and then we will remove their head and let them bleed out. And then we will dunk them in a pan of kind of hot water, not really hot, about 180 degrees or so water. And dunk them in there for a little bit and let it soften up the skin, and those feathers will pull right out of these young birds. So let me get everything set up and get my apron on and get my gloves on, and we will start the process. I won't show the dispatching of the animal, but I will pick it up from there. Okay guys, what I did here, I just took 2 little T-posts, ran a string in between them to wrap around his feet, to hang him upside down. You can see that he's dispatched. We just broke his neck, but you see how their feathers from where they're always laying down are ruffled up on their breasts and whatnot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bleed him out. We're just going to remove his head and let all the blood drain out onto the ground here. And then we'll take him up. Once he's bled out, then we'll take him up and dunk him in the warm water and start plucking the feathers off. So, but I wanted to show you how I'm hanging him. It doesn't take a whole lot of nothing special. It just a couple of them little T-posts with a string in between them to let him hang. So this is the next step, hanging them up and bleeding them out. It'll take probably, I don't know, a good 5 minutes or so. I'll let him hang, maybe longer, 5 to 10 minutes I'll let him hang to bleed all the way out. So once he's done bleeding, then we'll go to the next step. Okay guys, here's my big water bath canner full of warm water, not hot. You're not trying to cook them. And then I've got an old Rubbermaid storage thing, whatever they are, that's all broke up, but I'm gonna use that to pluck the feathers off in. And then I've got a cooler here full of cool salty water that'll help draw more impurities and clean them off a little bit better before we give them a final rinsing and put them in the freezer. So there's that, and I'm gonna give my son the camera here, and we'll show you how big compared to me this bird is. I'd say this bird is probably 8 or 9 pounds. So I figure he's going to be about 6 pounds or so after we clean him out and dress him out. I've got these gloves on that are just a cloth work glove that have been dipped in the rubber. Now we dip them into the warm water and get them all good and wet, soaking him up. Wet chicken smells lovely, by the way.
It smells like dog.
Now, just right over here, and these feathers should just pluck right off. Now that they've been soaked and that skin's loosened up a little bit, it makes it a lot easier plucking than trying to do it just dispatching them and starting to pluck right away. So we're going to get them all plucked out here, and whenever we're done, I'll get back with you and we'll go to the next step. Okay guys, here's our bird. He's all plucked out, the most part. I'm going to try to see if I can get this in the camera or not, if it's going to focus. But all over now, these little bitty hairs that are all over him. So I'm just going to take my little butane torch here, turn it on a little bit. I'm just going to singe him. Get a good singeing all over. That'll take care of those little hairs and all those other little feathers. Just like that. Can't keep it in the camera. Sorry, I'm trying to do this all one-handed here. And then we will flip them over and do the same on the other side there. Singe off all those other little hairs and little feathers that we couldn't get to. They were really hard to pluck. And then we will move on to the next step, which will be gutting them and getting all the goodies out from the inside. So I'll get right back with you. Okay guys, we are now going to remove the goodies on the inside. Now, like I say, it takes a long time to pluck one of these, but your patience will be rewarded if you do it the right way. You get to save all the good, delicious skin, and you'll have a beautiful bird. Now, the way I got them is right here at the end of the breast. There's some loose skin. And what I'll do is I'll just pull that skin out, make an incision right there. Follow it down into the cavity, just like that, right around the breast, big enough to where I can get my hand in there and go in there and start getting what we need to get out of there. So now I got that, split it down this way. Like that. And the first thing we're going to want is right here in the front is the gizzard. Right here is the gizzard, and we want that because those are really good to eat. Clean some of this fat off of it. And you have your gizzard. Just cut the gizzard right off. And we're going to throw it in the water over here to soak and clean out. Actually, I'm going to set it aside so I can rinse it off a little bit better before I put it in the soak water. Now, a lot of the rest of this stuff right here at the bottom is going to be just nasty guts, and we don't want that. So we're going to clean all that out until we get to the liver. And actually, if you can do what I'm about to do right now, which is just go in, bust that membrane out, and pull the whole caboodle out at once. Just like that. So what we keep is the heart, which is right here. We'll keep the heart. We'll keep the big old livers, and they'll just pluck right off like that. And right here on the back side of the liver, you see that? You got to be careful cutting that off. Is that in the camera? Move it over a little bit. Right here, you want to be careful cutting this here off. You don't want that to break and taint your liver. So you cut out your liver, and that's the things that we keep. You can keep the kidneys and the other stuff. It makes really good animal feed, as a matter of fact. We're going to let the cats enjoy those little treat. And the rest of it is going to be trash. Actually, we're going to put it out there by the chicken house and use it to bait the trap with. So there you go. Now what we're going to do is give them a good rinsing out on the inside. And here's what I can say. Here's what we got from the inside here. We got the liver, the gizzard, and the heart. So we're going to clean these off real good, and then we'll get each one of the chickens will have this. These kidneys, we're not going to eat them, but we're going to give them to the cats for a little treat. And if you do a lot of butchering, you'll have plenty of animal food. So, okay, we'll get back with y'all in a little bit. All right, now I'm just going to take our hose here. I'm going to hold the chicken by his wings. I'm going to rinse him off real good. Everywhere it gets a rinsing. Rinse out the cavity on the inside there. Now I'm going to put him in the cooler here. The cooler has got cool water and it has some salt in it. That's going to help soften up the skin, and it's going to remove any more impurities that are the blood and stuff that's left in the inside cavity and stuff like that. So we'll just let him soak for a little bit, and we'll move on to the next one. So once he's done soaking, and before we get ready to freeze him, we will give him a final rinse and a final clean in the sink in the kitchen. We will remove his feet, and then we'll wrap him up real good and put him in the freezer. So there you go, guys. This is another process that I use for butchering the chickens. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. God bless in the end. Buzz, buzz, the end.